Last seen on Turbo Depths. Pretty easy redraw here, right? No lands. Over. The fuck? Did it just... It... Well, apparently registered me clicking keep there. It's kind of running like a slow piece of crap after the patch this morning. I guess we'll find out what our opponent's playing here and then move to a second game because, Yep. My VM seems really unhappy this morning. I was trying it through the VM as opposed to through Wine, but the VM seems to be running really poorly. I mean, alright, I guess we technically get to play a game with that. This doesn't really give away information on what we're doing, so I'm just gonna blast this cantrip. Maybe I'm restarting Magic Online and loading it up through Wine. It does not seem to be happy running through my virtual machine this afternoon. Into Beseiju. Okay, so they're probably playing Sneak and Show, maybe? Smells like Sneak and Show. Hotkeys aren't working. Alright, we're gonna... shut this down real quick and start. Oh, I didn't update Magic Online through Wine this morning. That's awkward. So this happens quickly. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, Magic Online lagged and apparently registered me clicking keep instead of Mulligan. So... Are we back? Maybe. Pseudo back. This is probably pretty bad for us. We don't have a lot of good tools against a Beseiju. Not 100% sure what our opponent's doing. I guess we get like Vendilion Cliques post board. Maybe Pithing Needle, depending on what they're doing, if they're sneak and show or not. I mean, okay, we're gonna have to actually play a game of Magic, I guess. Volcanic Island here and cantrip for a land, stick this True-Name, and then try and race them down with our reach. Feels like an any order shuffle. These bolts probably have but one mode in this matchup. Alright. Guess my thing. Got forced, pitching, show and tell. Okay, so they are show and tell deck. Guessing intuition here. I assume that means we're dead next turn. They pitched a show and tell to that force. So yeah, I assume this means they have another show and tell or sneak attack or something like that. You're like, why do you care about my True-Name if you're getting an Emrakul? Yep. This matchup's probably pretty bad for us. These random, more random decks. Flusterstorm, Pyroblast, Pithing Needle are probably pretty good. Clique is great. They cut these like Abrades and these Punishing Fires and these Lightning Bolts. The main deck Beside You just like turns it probably from like baby passable to completely rancid. Why did they counter True-Name? No idea. Just to like say that they could, maybe. Do I want these surgical extractions if they're on the intuition plan? Is that good enough? Are those better than other cards that I'm playing? I probably trim a Grove with a Burnwillows or two in this matchup, just because they're not going to be particularly. I guess if my plan is to cast Krosan Grip, that might not be true. Thing in the Ice doesn't kill True-Name doesn't kill particularly fast, but like I don't really have much better threats. A couple surgicals might be playable just because we're kind of low on tools for this type of matchup. This is actually kind of funny against Beside You. Actually kind of funny against Beside You. Yeah, surgical flipping Thing in the Ice faster is also a real thing. Dack Fayden's probably just not needed here. Jace can like unsummon their poopers when they show and tell them in at least, so that seems fine. I don't think I want to cut a second land. I'd probably cut a second land. Get this last surgical in. I'm just gonna bring in two. Drawing two surgicals is probably pretty rancid. This card's not great, but like we have pretty limited ways to actually kill them, and we need to apply pressure to our opponent, which is almost certainly one of the reasons why this matchup is bad. This hand actually seems really good, right? I've got Pithing Needle for depending on what they show and tell into play. We got Thing in the Ice on too, which is a good way to apply pressure to my opponent. Can also just like flip their things back to their hand, right? Looking for some lands here, swinging a miss. Thing. Jamming Modern today? We're not. I have to teach on Wednesday night, so we're just gonna play one league with this Legacy deck, and then I have to sign off, unfortunately. Just turn one. Beside You every game is pretty good. Yeah, the Bancor deck's a lot of fun. Feels really powerful. Alright, so the Beside You means that we're gonna be countering cantrips aggressively here, because that's a good way my opponent can get set up. Looking for a land here. They seem fine. Pass the turn back here. The impulse. Yep. Can't counter that cantrip off of that Besage. I guess I'm just... I mean, we didn't see enough cards out of them to know one way or another which one they're playing. I agree, if that's the configuration they're playing, it's not great, but... It says, oh, you know what? I should have fetched a Trop, because I have this K-Grip in my hand, right? They have a cantrip here, I can counter it. Probably dead. This probably doesn't matter. They have counter spells, they can cast them for free. Yep. Alright. Good games. On to the next one. That's what you get. When you don't play a deck like Delver and Legacy, you lose to a lot of random garbage tier combo decks. I think this one could be okay against like Storm, and we're definitely set up well against lands, but things like Sneak and Show, I'm definitely short on cards for. And I don't think I'm really interested in like trying to position myself better to be good against decks like that, because you just can't be good against every fringe pile of garbage in Legacy. It's not like Modern in that way, right? Like there's so many decks that people play even though they're not actually that good, that like some of the time you're gonna get matched like this deck. Like this deck's probably not amazing, but we're gonna queue into some people and have some good matchups against them. Alright, I'm timing you out. You can take a timeout there. So, your first statement was fine. You made an educated guess based on the cards that you've seen, but when you start talking with certainty about cards that aren't in my opponent's deck without any actual known information, like, that's just, like, spitballing and stupid and pointless. It's okay to speculate. It's not okay to be like, no, this is almost certainly what they're doing, when we don't know that. They could be on Mono Blue Omniscience, but they could also just be on Sneak and Show. Like, every card they played in that match were cards that Sneak and Show plays. No, they're going to be up by noon PST at the latest, which is a half hour from now. It's, like, not exciting, but it's fine. Got some cantrips to find some stuff. It's got some cantrips to find some stuff. I'm trying an Echoing Truth today in the slot we'd previously been playing Snap in. It's just like a random out to things like a Resolved Chalice and stuff like that. Speaking of Resolved Chalice. Hand's decent against Blood Moon, so that's nice. Blood Sun, also decent against that, actually. I agree, 9 hours of downtime is excessive. I mean, both the decks are pretty bad Larinax, so I don't really think there's much point in like arguing like which pile of poop smells slightly less. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these, right? I think I'll take the force into my hand here so we can force something scary. This is a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world, especially with the lands that we have in our hand. It does not. This is a mana ability. Go ahead and force that one since I have so many cantrips in my hand. Part of the reason we took this and kept it. Take your drink. And then I'm probably just supposed to pass the turn here, right? Because, like, I can't crack a fetch land if I brainstorm into one anyways, so I might as well just, like, go land go here. Another Blood Sun. Yeah, I don't really care about that. That's fine. I might Brainstorm and end a turn here just to like get a card deeper. This card's like not really doing anything. Yeah, Blood Sun turns off fetch lands. So we're gonna draw through all of these cards here anyways. Draw 2, discard 2. You probably just don't need another Dack. I probably don't need this Bolt. Hopefully we don't get sneak attacked or breached this turn. Jacob, inside voice, Jacob. I don't really care about that one at this point. It's not really a big deal. Sweet. Looks like the opponent doesn't have a lot going on. Never. We're never playing Lantern again. If it was a joke, it was a bad one. The deck is miserable. I just bin these lands? Yeah, probably. We're just passing here. We'll hold the Flusterstorm up. My opponent doesn't do anything. We'll probably snap bolt them and get a clock down. Going on, isn't Toth? Yeah, just we had to end early yesterday, so I wanted to fire up for a short bit today before I have to go to work. Chalice for 1, you say? Alright, let's snap bolt in response. So we have a 6-turn clock with the Snapcaster Mage here. Love to draw 2, discard 2. And for another island for this True Name. Force of Will would also be great. In these 1-mana spells. Back for 2. Echoing Truth is like pseudo protection against sneak attack. It bounces some of the things they could put into play off of it. Remember, this Flusterstorm still has some text, so the initial copy of Flusterstorm will get countered by Chalice of the Void, but the Storm copies will still resolve. Yeah, you're not wrong. These Scalding Tarn just literally wouldn't do anything under Blood Sun. We could gain control of the Chalice, you're not wrong. Counterspell's a great draw. Hopefully we can find one of our other 2 islands here. Islands and Force of Wills are now what we're looking for, basically. You see 3 cards a turn, which is not shabby. Abrade's not bad. Abrade is not bad. That will kill this Chalice of the Void for us. Whenever I'm supposed to ult this, since I have this Abrade in my hand, because I could like Abrade, like their Inferno Titan or whatever, or their Worm, and like gain control of it. So this Flusterstorm works like we talked about earlier. They're gonna have to counter unless they pay 1 here. So I guess if they have a Simian Spirit Guide, they could potentially be okay here. But They don't have a Simian Spirit Guide. We'll get to counter there through the breach. Maybe I'm supposed to Abrade this in response, just up the storm count. That's probably loose. Bounce Moon to get True-Name down. I could do that, I suppose. I don't know. They're dead pretty quickly here, right? Punishing Fire is pretty great. Yeah, I'm gonna... Do I want just Emblem here? They're almost dead, right? I guess if I would have abraded this at end of turn, they could have... If I hit land plus... I think I'm just supposed to loot here. If I hit land plus other stuff, we could get in a really good spot. Alright, are these cards I'm interested in casting? Alright, so what do I want to do here even? Got a lot of choices. I can't hold up Counterspell. I don't have 2 blue mana. If we could hold up Counterspell, that would be a very easy decision to make. We'd obviously hold up Counterspell. Do I want to play the Bedlam Reveler out? I could just, like, discard and, like, go, like, Punishing Fire, Dome, play land, Bedlam Reveler. Getting kind of punished for not having abraded this at their end of turn. Echoing Moon enables Counterspell? No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because these lanes don't make mana because there's Blood Suns in play. Good try, though, chat. Good try. A+ for effort. Yeah, I'm just gonna braid their moon and then play this Bedlam Reveler, I think. So they could be at 3 if I'd have abraded at their end of turn, so I could have Punishing Fired their Dome. Hopefully we don't get too punished here. Alright, they're dead. God bless. Alright, so this is... Unsubstantiate seems fine. Thing Click Grip seem fine. Needle seems fine. Flusterstorm's like okay. It's like nothing to write home about, but it's like passable. Punishing Fire's bad. Bolt's pretty bad. True-Name's not exciting. We're 9-2 with it across 3 leagues now. We're in the second match of this league. I enjoy playing the type of Magic that this deck plays. I don't know if the deck is good or not, but I enjoy playing it. Yeah, Braid can't target players. It's only creatures or artifacts. So what do I want to cut here? I probably just wouldn't mind cutting a True-Name. I think Dack's a little bit better than True-Name. It's easier to cast under Blood Moon. It also gives us some card selection when we're under a Chalice or something like that. This doesn't really do anything. It turns off their Lotus Petals, but that's about it. I think I'm keeping. I'm gonna board like this. Yeah, let's board like this. I can see an argument being made for like maybe playing True-Name over like a Flusterstorm, but like Flusterstorm does at least counter through the breach, which is a card that we need to counter. Every matchup's a surgical matchup, ain't that the truth? Need to change a diaper really quick. I'll be right back, chat. Thanks for hanging out. Sand seems fine. Not exciting, but fine. I'm still ahead on clock. I'm up 10 seconds. Get out of here, prototype. 15 seconds up on clock. Having a basic island in the hand's pretty good to start. We have Dack to help play through a Chalice by discarding 1-drops. Seems a little soft to Blood Sun, but can't beat everything with every hand, so... Go away, so I'm not wrong. So, is this gonna be a Chalice on one? That'll... Blood Moon? Please not Blood Sun. Please not Blood Sun. Tilt. Alright. Okie doke. I guess we're doing this. Digging for non-fetch lands. It's a good draw. Looking for a mountain here. Gotta go bottom. I think I'm just supposed to bottom this too. I could see that one going either way. I think I'm supposed to bottom it. Yeah, taking a Force of Will feels good. Okay, we got some protection, some insurance. This is a Chalice. Am I just letting it resolve? I think I am at this point. I think I just want to use my Force to not die. And then hopefully we hit some red sources naturally here. Yeah, we have like Abrades in our deck too. Hopefully we hit some red sources naturally. And I get to stick this Dack Fayden and kind of go to work with that. Yeah, I agree, prototype. I think this is just going to be... Is this going to be an end step Snapcaster? I kind of want to keep the Dack Fayden though, right? So I probably want to pitch the Snapcaster to the Force. That's probably what I want to do. I'm going to pitch the Snapcaster to force the sneak attack. Because I can't shuffle. These fetch lands don't have text currently. If I could shuffle, the Brainstorm would be excellent. Play this out just in case my opponent plays a Blood Moon down the line. Just have these in play, ready to go. Probably going to be a bit of a staring contest here until we hit a red source. Another Force is a good draw. I'm going to hold this land for now, just because I'd like to hold it to bin to a Dack Fayden, potentially. Defense grid. I think I actually just let this resolve. Which feels bad after drawing another Force here, but I think I'm just supposed to hit a red source here. And we could just die because I let this happen, but like I can't know I'm drawing another Force, and like if I hit a grove or an island, I can actually force them on their turn, which is nice. But we die here, we die here. Like it through the breach. Yep. And I cannot cast this because this doesn't make mana because there's a Blood Sun in play. I don't have red mana, prototype. If I had red mana, this game would be easy and over. If I had red mana, this game would be easy and no longer being played. And have put them in the ground. Let's try again here. Turn 1 Blood Sun lined up really well. Really well against our hand there. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. Got Force, got a cantrip. Oh, I guess this hand's weak to Blood Moon, but maybe Blood Moon's not in their deck. It's possible that I should just be playing 10 blue fetches, or 9 blue fetches. I have 8 blue fetches and 1 Wooded Foothills, I think right now is what my split is. I think that's what I ended up doing. That's 8 and 1. Collection window will open. Yeah, 2 strands. Yeah, I have 8 blue fetches and 1 Wooded Foothills. Most of the time it's about the same. I'm fetching a non-basic here anyways. Do I want to get Tropical Island so I can cast K-Grip? Probably. Probably don't mind that. Looking for more blue sources here. Man, am I willing to shuffle these? I guess I'm probably taking these, right? Hitting land drops guarantees that I can snap this Ponder down the line, which is nice. Probably just want to take the Brainstorm here to have it to pitch to Force of Will. That's just guaranteed at this click is Disruption too. I think it's not unlikely that they boarded Blood Moon out against us. I would probably board Blood Moon out if I was playing against us in my opponent's spot. Like, Blood Moon would have allowed us to win the game last game. This is a Chalice. I'm pretty sure I'm just letting it resolve. Yeah. So when you're playing the blue side of these matchups, your goal is always to try and identify what cards your opponent's flooping into play that you can actually beat and which ones you can't. So this game, I'm going to choose to just try and fight over their cards that actually kill us. We're going to turn to this Snapcaster Mage and just start beating down and turn 3 this Click. We have this Force as well. Defense Grid. I think I'm just going to splash this in. And then I'm going to try and risk it for the Biscuit next turn. And I'm going to play this Vendilion Clique out during my main phase and click them and try and see what's up in their hand. And then from there, we can actually hold Force of Will up by paying 3 mana. So we could die here. We could lose the game, but I think holding the Force and just like putting 5 power into play is our best route to victory here. Just want to like actually clock our opponent. Yeah, so like this hand they can keep all of these, right? So I'm gonna say no, you can keep those. So they have SSG, SSG, and Emrakul. I'm gonna attack them down to 18 here, and then starting next turn I can just like hold up Force of Will. If they hit a land, they'll probably hardcast a Simian Spirit Guide here. But, like, the worst thing they could do is second Defense Grid. That's not the worst thing to do. Oh, that's actually really annoying, right? That's pretty exceptionally annoying. Because now I can't hardcast my Force of Will. So I guess I attack. Am I just echoing truthing these defense grids? I think I am. Seems reasonable. Your move. They did have a chance to top deck sneak attack after the click. Why I said it was a risk. So now if they cast 1 defense grid, we'll hit them to 8. And then if they cast a second defense grid, we hit them to 3. So they're potentially dead then. The problem with defense grid, Zach, is that... I mean, this game's actually a great example. Imagine if defense grid was just another card that I had to answer. Whereas this game, I'm kind of playing around it, and the only reason it has any text at all is because it costs, they have 2 of them. In my testing, Defense Grid was never good in the big red deck, just because it's a card the blue decks can just ignore a lot of the time. It's not a must-answer threat. It's alright, that's fine, I'll keep attacking you. Now that's actually a fantastic draw too here, because if they play Defense Grid next turn, I can actually just cast Counterspell on it for 5 mana. And then I'll have a Force of Will up for their following play. Which should put them dead. Echoing Truth was worth its weight in gold there. One of the reasons why I'm testing it, that kind of flexibility. So this Force of Will should mean they're dead. Sweet. And click coming out of the sideboard and doing exactly what we wanted to do in this deck. Just providing us a faster clock in our deck that doesn't have that much pressure game one against these combo decks, and also providing an element of disruption. We lost to Sneak and Show. We lost to a Show and Tell deck. It could have been Sneak and Show. It could have been Mono Blue Omni. They had a Volcanic Island, but that could have also just been for board cards. It's possible. So I had a third Pyroblast in some of my configurations of this deck, like a third Blast. They also had main deck Besage You, which was part of the reason we lost. They played Besage You on two games 1 and 2. Mismatch Goyfs. You're gonna spend so much money on something nice like a Goyf. Get ones that ugh. I'm doing alright. Playing some Legacy. Trying to figure out if this is a deck I want to play in Cincinnati or not, or if I should just default to playing a 4-color control pile. Ew, hopefully they're not playing Sneak and Show. Like I said, I think that matchup's bad. I think this hand's a keep. I would keep this against an unknown opponent. I just really don't like playing Grixis Delver mirror matches. They feel pretty miserable. They don't feel skill testing. They just feel like we're slinging shit at each other. So I don't enjoy them from a gameplay perspective. And I think I'd play a lot of Delver. I'd expect to play a lot of Delver rematches at a team event. So I enjoy playing the Delver deck against the rest of the field, but I don't enjoy playing the Delver deck against other Delver decks, so that's largely part of the reason why I put it down. I think I'm just going to fetch a basic mountain here, play around Price of Progress a little bit. It makes our cantrips marginally worse next turn, but I think that's fine. I don't think I need to cast 2 cantrips next turn anyways. I think I'd actually expect less Delver mirrors at an open as opposed to a team event, so it depends on like what you're looking to get out of whatever you're doing. Alright, 4 shots and another bolt here. 5 shots technically because we had to draw a step, right? Looking for bolts and punishing fires. Snapcaster Mage is kind of a bolt. Am I in the market for this Snapcaster Mage? I kind of just want to shuffle here and just like spend less time dirtling. The fact that we fetch this basic mountain does mean I can't ponder this turn as well, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm in any order and shuffle here. I think I just want to take a random. I'm gonna get punished for this, but I think it's fine. Next turn I get to draw step plus Brainstorm plus Ponder. Take the aggressive Brainstorm and try and kill me. I like it. Opponent's certainly playing an aggro deck. Guess I should not auto pass because that gives away that I don't have a Force of Will. We're gonna take 3 here off of this. Hopefully they brick on a land again. Smells like they bricked. Yep. Alright. Alright, so Punishing Fire is a live hit on this Brainstorm. It won't be on the Ponder, though. We hit a Bolt and a Force of Will. That's quite good. I'm going to put back this non-basic land, and I'm going to throw back this Preordain, I think. I might redraw the Preordain next turn. Might redraw the Preordain next turn. Do you just want to get up to casting this Bedlam Reveler? No, actually, that's a lie. I'm just going to cast this Ponder. I'm going to cast this Ponder. That's pretty good. That's like quite excellent, right? I would like to draw all of these. And I think I'm going to take the Dack on top because I wouldn't mind pitching him to a force if push came to shove. They have a bolt in their hand that we know about. Maybe I'm just supposed to force this aggressively just because I have this Bedlam Reveler. I could see that being the case. Yeah, I could see that being the case. I'm supposed to, like, snap the force there. Just, like, keep them off of developing their mana. Huh. Fetch another mountain here. Guess this Jace. We're forcing. I'm just gonna force back here. We know they have a lightning bolt, so I'm gonna go ahead. They chose not to shuffle. I'll target them, see what we get. I might have kept a card on top that they wanted here. Would you like to bottom that? Yeah, I think I just want to. Actually, I could have left that there, right? I have Punishing Fire. Maybe keeping that was loose. They were probably shuffling regardless, right? If they spend bolts killing this Jace, those are like bolts that aren't killing me. Nope, they are killing me. All right. Yep. I like it. I like it. Explain why I'm fetching basics. Our opponent's deck likely plays the card Price of Progress, which is why I'm fetching basic lands. Our opponent's deck is basically a glorified burn deck. So ideally, I would like to avoid not dying to burn spells. Opponent's deck is a glorified burn deck. So yeah. Alright, looking to draw the card Counterspell at this point, right? I think I'm just gonna Bedlam first here. Not cast this Ponder. Sweet, found a Counterspell. Start Jace storming and hopefully bury them in the ground here. Fetch land's not bad. True-Name. True-Name's actually not great right now, right? They don't quite have enough blue, although I guess this extra Jace isn't really needed either. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh, I can't even force at this point, right? Yeah. Really unfortunate. What would be my deck of choice? I wouldn't have a deck of choice and play something else. I hate questions like that because unlike a lot of Magic players, if I'm going to take the time to go to a tournament, I'm going to be prepared to go to that tournament. So, like, if I had a Legacy tournament tomorrow that I was going to take the time and money to go to, I would have spent time and energy preparing for that tournament for like the last 4 or 5 weeks, right? So like I have a Legacy tournament that I'm playing at the end of next month, 5 weeks from now. So I am starting today trying to find the deck that I'm interested in playing there. That was all 4 bolts plus a Chain Lightning. It was all 4 bolts plus a Chain Lightning. Actually, know what I want to cut here? Maybe Dack's just a little too clunky. Could buy that for $1. If you got paid to go to an event on a whim tomorrow, I don't know, I'd probably play something weird. If I didn't care if it was a free roll event, I'd probably just play like Belcher SI. If I'm getting paid for a free roll, I don't need to win. But if I'm spending my own time and money, it's different. I'd practice and put in the effort. Yeah, one more cut here. You don't want all 4 forces. That's probably true. Or if this Dead Gaun's good. This Dead Gaun's probably fine. I think this deck's very good against the 4-color control and Grixis, Delver, and Death and Taxes, but it's probably pretty bad against a lot of these fringe decks. So I think we line up well against lands too, especially with these 3 cards to answer their combo. But you're probably going to die against random off-meta decks, which Legacy's full of, so like I'm not sure if this is a genuinely good choice or not. I feel like I want this Dead Gone in my deck. This force. This was a donation deck list that someone submitted that I really liked playing with, so we've made some changes to it at this point. So I think we're like a dozen cards off of what was submitted, maybe less than that. Maybe just like 8 to 10. Sounds fine, like not exciting, but fine. We get 4 looks at a second land with this Brainstorm. Do you mean like your Miracle? I haven't played the Miracles matchup. Have I? No, we did play the Miracles matchup. It seemed like it was okay. I think anyone that's trying to play like a long grindy value game is gonna get ranched. I mean, you can just play Grixis Delver or 4-color controller, one of the decks that's just like objectively good in Legacy. I guess we'll continue playing Magic, but that's really fucking unlucky. I don't think this hand was greedy to keep. We're playing a 22 land deck, so I had 4. What's the Hyper Geo? Let's not use my gut feeling. My gut said that this was a fine keep and I had 4 looks. There are 21 successes. I was gonna get 4 looks, so we're 88% to hit a land there. Maybe that's not good enough. Maybe 10% to lose the game is too high. I could see that being the case. Like, that's basically what's happening here, right? We're gonna be like 10% to lose this game. Because we missed this land drop here. No, I think that's very wrong. I guess it gives us more looks with these cantrips. So maybe, I didn't have this Ponder, right? I didn't have this Ponder, so I see 1 less card, but it turns these into redraws. I guess I could see merit to that being a thing. I could see the merit in that being a thing just because, like, so it lets me see 1 less card on the initial Brainstorm, but it gives me other Brainstorms, Ponders, and Preordains as live redraws, potentially. I think if I had this initially, I would have certainly Brainstormed at end of turn to try and get there, but the fact that I didn't have this, I think makes it not worth it. Do they keep a shit hand again? That would be so good for us. You have a second land? Currently, I think I like Modern more. I've really liked Modern since the introduction of Jace and Bloodbraid back into the format. I mean, the green-black deck wasn't really a value deck. It was just the green-black rock deck that's been being played in the format for a while. It's been putting up fringe results for, I don't know, the past 2 months. Like a fine, random mid-range deck. All Planeswalkers have been errata to be legendary. So that was a recent rules change. Yeah, all Planeswalkers are considered legendary permanents. Alright, they did keep a greedy hand again. We died last time they did this, so we get 2 looks with this little land. I'll fucking force my cantrip. Yeah, I'm gonna force you back here. God, that's rude. They have another one? Please, can I get a fetch land? Alright, I mean, that's definitely a keeper, right? Nope, no shuffle. Yes, dead. What an aptly named card. Yes, dead. And I assume they don't have a counterspell here, because if they had another counterspell, they'd have fought over the cantrip, right? We get to draw a Ponder next turn. We're up to 4 4 sort spells in the discard pile here. So we're getting close to casting this Bedlam Reveler. I mean, they kept a pretty bad hand, right? I guess they had a Brainstorm too. But like they like aggressively did the Brainstorm and like missed on the extra, gave themselves one less look, right? Looking for lands. One of the things I really like about this deck is that the mana base isn't as greedy as a lot of these other decks in Legacy. This deck's playing 22 lands and none of them are wastelands, so we have like 22 actual mana producing lands. They just like blasting our cantrip here. It's really rude. It's a really rude opponent. Hopefully we don't just get like 5x lightning bolted out of the game again. It was unfortunate. That happened last game. The old all 4 bolts plus chain lightning. Okay, let's try and kill this with fire. This sucks if they have a counterspell. Digging for another force here. Games like this make me appreciate Force of Will not existing in Modern, because like using Force of Will in these fair matchups just feels so bad. You're just like, I'm getting out tempoed because of Force of Will. Ugh. Although I guess Modern people are playing Disrupting Shoal now, which is like a similar effect, right? Maybe I shouldn't make that comparison. It's kind of okay. So I can actually cast this Bedlam Reveler this turn. I think I probably just want to do that, right? I'm going to put back Snapcaster Mage, Thing in the Ice, play land, cast Bedlam Reveler. Or like losing this thing in this Brainstorm, but I think that's fine. No, Dead Gone only counts as a single card. Force of Shoal. Yeah, we just need to like kill our opponent, right? Like, we don't give them time to 5x bolt us out of the game, potentially this way. This Punishing Fire is a great draw. Hopefully we hit a land here so we can go Thing plus Punishing Fire. Alright, I'm gonna start with that. Love to yield to this Prowess trigger. And for a land. That's pretty good. Do I need another Punishing Fire, or am I kind of in the market to keep this Flusterstorm? I think I'm kind of in the market to keep this Flusterstorm, right? I think I'm gonna throw back Snap plus this. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch a basic island here, just in case there's still Price of Progress is in their deck. Yeah, Punishing Fire is a very good band in Modern. Let's kill this now. Hi, buddy. I think I'm just passing here. I think getting 5 in worth potentially taking 2 to 3 on the backswing. They're down to 2 cards. They're down to just 2 cards. Is it worth getting 5 in here? What's going on, Recruiter? Glad you enjoy the YouTube content as well. Thanks for dropping by today. This is kind of close. It's a lot of pressure. I think I just want to hit them. I can see that one going either way. If they go like bolt here, I feel really bad, but I guess if they have bolt, they would have just like bolted down my Bedlam Reveler. So like then the block's no good anyways. Because I want to return Punishing Fire to my hand. Flusterstorm's maybe this card will do something. Leaving up Grove guarantees getting me this back. Yeah, this attack might have been bad. Well, I guess, like, would I have chump blocked here? Yeah, probably. Probably would have chump blocked. So we're gonna put them to 14. We'll punishing fire this, put them to 10. Yep. So we're taking a clean 7 ball here. So they have 1 card left. I'm gonna get to kill this. I'm gonna get to hold up Flusterstorm. I don't know. You'd have to go look at whatever my Oops All Spells list was. The list I played recently, I liked a lot. Although I haven't considered Chancellor in the deck, so maybe that should be a consideration. Do I want to stick Thing in the Ice here? I guess I could have tapped my mana to cast Thing and still hold up Flusterstorm. I think I'd rather just hold up Fluster here. Fluster / Punishing Fire. Because Fluster still counters, it still counters Price of Progress at this point. Yeah, I did. I intended to do that. I didn't talk about it, but in my head that was intentional. Do I want to Punishing Fire my opponent's Dome here? I don't think so. Waiting on the Punishing Fire could allow me to generate an extra storm count to make our Flusterstorm better next turn, which is something we might need to counter a Lethal Bolt. Jacob, inside voice, buddy. Inside voice. You want to watch a different show? Alright, so they're at 8, so we do have them dead next turn, right? Just have to know information. Alright, we gotta win this game on the draw, which sounds kind of tough. I think I want extra Force of Will on the draw. Are these Jaces too slow? How do we feel about Thing in the Ice versus Vendilion Clique? I guess Thing in the Ice blocks better earlier. Just something to consider. Jace is probably too clunky in this matchup, right? It's probably the case. I'll bring a click in over that. Jace this is probably just a load up on creatures and beat them down. I don't know. I don't think my hair was curly when I was small. Games like that last one really make Bedlam look impressive. It just does a lot for very little. This hand is unfortunately a mulligan, right? It's kind of sad to pass up a hand that has turn 1 bolt because my opponent's deck has a lot of really aggressive creatures in it. But I think I just can't keep a hand that doesn't have blue mana. Like if either of these was a fetch land or like any of these were a fetch land, I think I could do better at 6 here. This hand's much better. Keep Force of Will. I'm gonna bottom that for now, I think. I think if they lead on Monastery Swift Spear, I'm just gonna need ways to kill that. Yeah, it's a pseudo sweeper. Like emphasis on pseudo. Like this is a style of matchup where like that sweeper effect's gonna be probably far too slow to have a realistic impact on the game. Yep. Interesting sequencing there on the opponent's part that they probed and then Swift Spirit. I bottomed that card, right? Yep. Just every time Magic Online. Never not. Am I leaving this blast up? Am I leaving this blast up? Probably not. Thing in the Ice. I kind of wouldn't mind a thing, but I also don't want to draw a 4th land, and if I keep this Ponder, I'm obligated to draw one of these lands along with the thing, so I'm going to any order and shuffle here. Punished by drawing a 4th land anyways. Could have drawn the Swift Sphere from the Probe. Yeah, that's probably the conclusion to come through there. So kind of getting punished for my decision to shuffle that Ponder there. Maybe I should have just left the Blast up, because like 10 out of 10 would have blasted this Brainstorm. Yeah, it's potential that I should have just done that. This Force looks and feels pretty bad. Opponent just said no lands day in chat, so maybe they're working on their 2nd land for a 3rd game in a row. I think forcing the Brainstorm's a little aggressive. The blue-red deck, we haven't seen a Storm Chaser Mage, we've only seen Delvers. Looking for a Bolt, looking for a Dead Gone, looking for a Punishing Fire. Actual factual Counterspell sounds okay. Just like need a way to answer the Swift Spear at some point. Just like snapping off a blast on anything they cast here. Oh Moto, please with the lands now. I want to, oh Moto, just want to draw a non-land. I think I'm just snapping this Counterspell here. Just like need to be resource efficient, I think. Gain 3 here, cast Healing Salve. That's unfortunate. That's a big reason not to have used my Counterspell there, because it turns off Chain Lightning on their play, on their turn. It's interesting. It's not a decision I'd considered. We're getting pretty rocked in this league. Good mix of bad matchups and bad luck. Playing this out. I'm just passing here. Am I clicking this Force out of my own hand? I think I am at this point. I'm gonna flash this Clique in as a blocker. I'm definitely not clicking them because they're missing land drops, so that's not something I'm interested in doing. They have a red Elemental Blast. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna take another 2 here. I suppose if I Pyroblast something at random here, I get to play this Bedlam Reveler next turn. Is that something I'm interested in doing? It feels like something I'm interested in doing. Like, be really upset when they force my Bedlam Reveler here, but good lord. No, we didn't change much. We're just like, I just said we're hitting bad matchups when we're running poorly in them. Like this game, we shuffled a thing and then haven't drawn a spell. I think the Esper Gifts deck is pretty fucking terrible. There's a reason why I haven't played it. I think I'm supposed to bottom both of these. I'll probably keep the Ponder for another cantrip here. Punishing Fire is okay on this board. That's in any order in a shuffle if I ever saw one. And we're dead. I don't know what this Preordain art's from. Scry 2 and then draw a card. It's a dual deck. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense to say. I don't know what that icon's from. Alright, it'd be a quick one. This is my only league for the afternoon. So, be off of it, be off this deck. And go back to testing boring legacy decks. The Unsubstantiate in the sideboard is a way to, so I've got an Echoing Truth, a Dead Gone, and an Unsubstantiate as 3 ways to take Merit Leech off the table that also have random utility in other spots. Hey, GM Miller, 1989 with that 3-month subscription. Thanks a lot and welcome back. I do appreciate it. Subscriptions, as always, are the best way you can support my content here. I'll only league this stream. I'm still teaching one class this semester, so I have to do that this evening, so I can't start another league if we're not going to have time to finish it, unfortunately. So we'll be back tomorrow afternoon with a nice normal long stream slot. It's a pretty good pickup. Depending on if they're a deck. Even if they're a deck that doesn't care about Punishing Fire, like Grove's still pretty good here. I think I'm just going to bottom here. I already have a Bolt and a Punishing Fire in my hand. We could, like, maybe be sad if we brick on a land here, but I kind of want my third land to be a blue source anyways. I don't think I have anything that meme in the donation queue, do I? No, it looks like everything in the donation queue. I guess I have a big red league we could play. Alright, how about if I... Actually, do I care? I have 2 Punishing Fires in my hand. If they hit my land, I feel really bad. Okay. No gamble, no future. That's the saying, right? No gamble, no future. Alright, let's brainstorm here. I'm gonna throw back Force. I'm gonna throw back. What do I want to redraw next turn? Because I think I want to play the Grove here, which means I'm redrawing one of these cards. I think I'll just redraw the fetch land. I'll play this Grove out and pass. I want to play the Grove out here just in case they have a second Tim to Torak. I'd like 2 Punishing Fires in my hand for that. Jarmagoose, yep. Solves.
No!
So they could just be playing Sultai mid-range, could be a Delver-esque strategy. I know there's a Force on top of my deck, so do I want to Ponder here or do I want to Brainstorm first? Kind of don't mind most of the cards in my hand. I guess the Punishing Fires aren't going to be particularly good here, right? Jacob Jeffrey, inside voice, bud. Inside voice. I guess I could bolt plus fire this Goyf. That doesn't seem completely unreasonable, right? Let's do that. Looks like they're auto-passing. That seems fine. That technically only cost us 1 card, right? I guess I should have fetched, to clear that, that force off the top of my deck, right? Drawing that force kind of sucks. Now we lost our fetch land, although we did ban the Punishing Fire, which is kind of nice. Running Unsubstantiate, main, Leyline, I don't know. Okay, people are talking about something else. Do I want to Brainstorm here? It's probably fine. Really don't want this force. I guess we're keeping the force. Are we keeping the force? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can cast the Bedlam Reveler this turn. I'm gonna put back Dack, put back Ponder. Hey, prototype in session with the $12 donation. Thanks a lot, I appreciate that. What's this one for? Dealer's Choice, Legacy Deck, yours. Thanks, bud, I appreciate that. I would have preferred to hit a land there. And if I get to keep Force blue card, I could actually force back when if they try and force this Bedlam Reveler. Yeah, that sounds great, actually. Auto yield to this. No. No. So jam this. Could even be a land underneath there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. What will I pick? I don't know. I don't know, we'll see. We got a couple in the tank. Honestly, we'll probably run this back. I probably still like this deck. I do. It's easy to get frustrated like when you're losing, but honestly, like I said, I think we hit a mix of bad matchups and bad luck in combination to be 1 and 2 in this league. Temur a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world, right? Snapcaster Mage. Alright, so I could return a Punishing Fire and then Bolt plus Fire this Goyf. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. So give you a health. Get one of these back. Oh, I'm dumb. I can't do that, right? I drew Snapcaster Mage and was thinking like this is a thing I could do, but it's actually not because Snapcaster Mage is a bolt, but it's not a bolt in the terms of 1 mana. So don't ask me where I went between there and now. That seems fine. Take this land. Then if they attack in with the Goyf, I can block plus Punishing Fire it. We're in a pretty healthy 19, which is nice. The 5th land also means I can Punishing Fire plus Snap Bolt the Goyf next turn to potentially take it off the table. Why would you play the Delver knowing I have 2 Punishing Fires in my hand? Doesn't seem particularly good. Yes, resolves, I guess. Seems particularly loose. Am I looking for anything in particular here? I don't think so. I think I actually just want to pass. During my opponent's upkeep, after their Delver trigger resolves, I'm going to fire this, plus pick some fires back up. He's dead, Jim. Yep, Delver resolves. I mean, people cheat at almost every paper Magic tournament, almost certainly. Blatant cheating is just like a new level of stupidity, I guess, but I think it's probably safe to assume there's cheaters at most Magic tournaments. The penalties for getting caught cheating are really low, and you're potentially winning money, which is sad. Like, that's like, you constantly see people that have been like banned for cheating from competitive tournaments like multiple times, and they're still able to come back and continue playing Magic. It's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. Yeah, I agree. Trying to cheat on camera is like an extra level of stupid. Like, can you at least control yourself enough to not do it on camera? I think I'm just looking for like a land there. Jace is okay too. Do I want to just kill this now? Maybe. Ask them to pass. I know they have a force in their hand. Kill it with fire. Oh, weird, it died. It's almost like it just shouldn't have gotten played out. Weird. Weird, we killed their thing with the card that they knew about. Strange. What a strange occurrence. Hey, Charmagoosey at Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. As always, subs are the best way you can support what I do here. Y'all are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do. Jace the Mind Sculptor. I think I'm just passing back here. If there's any big reason to push in. I guess this lets them potentially attack me. Alright, we have some fire here, chat. We have some fire. Dack's gonna generate some good value here. Discard these punishing fires I can get back for free. I mean, does the Goyf really matter? Do I care about this Goyf? Yep. Yeah, this is my favorite non-tiered deck in Legacy right now. 10 out of 10, my favorite non-tiered deck. Yeah, sure. There's two copies of True-Name in my deck though, so we're gonna draw one of those at some point here. Those cards good? What do you think of those cards? What do you think of those ones? How do you feel about having your mind sculpted, opponent? Oh, you're pro sculpting of minds. That's nice. I like when my opponent lets me sculpt their mind. Plus my Dack Fayden. Discard these punishing fires. Are you having fun yet? I'm having fun. You think our opponent's having fun, chat? You're abrupt decaying my Dack Fayden. That's so rude, opponent. I liked my Dack Fayden. I liked my Dack Fayden. He was a good guy. He was a good man. Nah, you can keep that one. Beep beep. Hop in my Bedlam Reveler shaped Jeep. I just unsummon that, right? Yeah, we'll just unsummon that. That one can resolve. They dead next turn. They're pretty close to dead next turn, right? You need to play a little bit faster. Opponent is up 3 minutes on clock right now. I'm gonna snap bolt this turn too. That should be lethal, right? Oh, this is actually just lethal, just like this, right? Yeah. I mean, the opponent's like screwed regardless of what they do here. I don't think their game actions really matter. It's kind of like a 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other type situation for them. Alright, so the things in the blast come in, I think, here. The forces probably aren't particularly good. Trim at least 2 of those. Abrade probably isn't good enough. They don't have too many things. They have, like, Goyfs. I guess I want to kill, like, Death Ray Shamans and stuff. Is Flusterstorm good? I think leaving in the 1 Echoing Truth is probably fine. Has random utility and value if they get, like, multiple Goyfs into play. I think I like this. I can maybe see a world where Clique is good. It trades with Delver. And it pressures them, but... Surgical because they have magic cards, ain't that the truth? I think this is what I want to do. I can see Blast maybe not being good enough just because they're on Sultai. Let's give this a go, see how it feels. I mean, we care about Death Ray Shaman and Liliana, but probably not enough to bring in Pithing Needle. Which ain't keepable. Not gonna get Wastelanded. We should be bringing in 2 Jace. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. I did have Jace on my sideboard when I played the Sultai deck. Okay, pick up. Looking for bolts and fires here. I think I'm just gonna go bottom on these. Just not bolt, not fire. You could maybe make an argument for keeping the... You probably make an argument for keeping keeping the Preordain there. Just like get more looks next turn. Yeah, it's a pretty aggressive start from the opponent. It's a decent draw. We get dazed or forced here, I'll feel a little bit bad. Sweet, that's great for us. We're not playing a Taxian Probe. Oh, they have a Surgical Extraction, sure. Makes sense, Fire's pretty good against them. Hopefully we don't get run out of the game by this Delver. I guess you just get to curve like True-Name into Jace here, which is nice. The Trop is so we can play Krosan Grip in the sideboard prototype. I think the Krosan Grips are worthwhile. I think the mana base can just like support having a Trop over a 4th island. Like that's the downside, right? Like having one more duel over a 4th island. One chose not to shuffle. Yep. I guess Reveler is pretty bad against this Deathrite Shaman. Oh. No, I don't think you need a second Trop. That sounds pretty unnecessary. I'd play another fetch, or I'd play... Yeah, probably another fetch. You play a fetch or a 4th basic island, I would not play a second Trop. Do not need a second Trop. No, you want it to be a blue source. You want 17 blue sources in the deck. Get Liliana the Veiled here and feel really bad. Alright, that's not good for us, but it's better than Liliana the Veil, I suppose. This turn's just like Windmill, Jace, Unsummon your Insectile Aberration, right? Smells right. Now I need a Pulse or something, otherwise we get to Brainstorm with Jace next turn, which feels good. Echoing Truth is in this deck as a hedge against Merit Liege. You gotta remember, a bounce effect like this is technically card disadvantage. This also gives us random utility with our own creatures, like we can return a Bedlam Reveler to our hand and then draw 3 more cards with it. Yeah, it turns back into Delver, Tom. Whenever transform cards leave zones in Magic, they transform back to their base state. It's unlike Hex where we track card changes through zones. Opponent digging deep. I wonder if they have an actual answer to this Jace in their deck. Or if they're gonna come up short. I'm pretty sure I'm just Jace storming here. It does mean I have to answer both of these, which kind of sucks. The Snapcaster Mage is a good draw. It means if I draw a Lightning Bolt, I can kill both of these. That's pretty unfortunate. This back, put this back, play this out. Crack this, go grab a Volk. Yeah, Goyf makes sense to be digging for. Goyf makes sense to be digging for. I guess I have Snapcaster Mage plus Echoing Truth that could technically get me out of this as well. I get 3 more looks at a Lightning Bolt though. Or did I board in Dead Gone? Maybe I should have boarded in Dead Gone. Maybe I underestimated how good deal 2 damage was going to be in this matchup. Here's some more bricks here. I guess I'm putting these back. Passing the turn. Ponder, yep. Worth noting that if this had been Snap here, it would be a little bit better off because I'd have 2 lands untapped. You're supposed to wait till combat to do that. See that being right. This puts 2 spells in my discard pile. Probably getting wastelanded here. I'm gonna play this out as an attempt to defend Jace. Why isn't it just Snap? Because Echoing Truth has utility against things like Empty the Warren tokens, as well as cards like, what's the word I'm searching for? Like Chalice of the Void. Yeah, it beats Empty Goblins and Chalice of the Void. Having a couple main deck ways to... It was better than Snap would have been against Big Red earlier today. I guess I'm fetching a Valkyrie. I know the top card of my deck is bad. I guess... So I know the top card of my deck is an island. So do I want to Brainstorm lock myself potentially to see 1 extra card? I don't think I do. I think that's wrong. We see 1 less new card this way, but I get to shuffle away the 2 I put back by waiting. No, I don't think so. I think if I thought that, I'd have boarded it out here, right? We're being blunt. If I thought the card should be boarded out, I wouldn't have it in my deck. To put things lightly. Probably dead here. Yeah, I think I misboarded and I should have Dead Gone in my deck right now. I think I should definitely have Dead Gone in my deck right now. Just undervalued how good 2 damage. And the Abrade probably 2, right? I'm gonna cut these forces. Yeah, I think that's the case. Maybe these clicks are good as well. Flusterstorm's not amazing. Especially if they're bringing in their own Jace too, potentially this click gets better. Maybe Counterspell's out for the same reason. Let's try that. Let's try that. Yeah, exactly. Like Bedlam Reveler being cast for like 4 or 5 is something that's pretty feasible in this deck. Also, like, you can also look at it from the perspective of if they're keeping a Deathrite Shaman on the table, we're probably losing that game anyway, so we should probably just play to being able to kill their Deathrite Shamans. This other Counterspell. Hey, they fixed the submit issue. I can resubmit. That's great. God bless you, Magic Online. Thank you for fixing bugs. Seems great, right? It's great on paper. I'm gonna go Mountain Go here. Save the Preordain for after Thing in the Ice. That's why it took 7 hours of downtime. They were fixing the resubmit bug. If they daze that, then they're not dazing Thing or not dazing True-Name Nemesis, which feels good. Thing True-Name isn't exactly a combo, but it's what we got. It isn't every day you get to kill a Tarmogoyf with a lightning bolt, chat. On those days that you do, you need to take the moment and you need to savor it. Just let it roll around on your tongue there for a minute. I think I'll take another bolt. True-Name should be a horror, right? I'm in the market for these. True-Name's one of our better cards in this matchup. Just like take an aggressive stance here on the play. Oh, you know, I probably should have drawn the land first, maybe. Not sure there. I could go either way. This leaves us the option to bolt plus True-Name next turn, or bolt plus something else. They have Liliana here, we're a little bit sad, or like a Diabolic Edict, but I think this is fine. I think I'm just gonna get a little aggressive here and just like send this upstairs and like try and 10 them. 4 cards left. Getting aggressive with the Awoken Horror flipping here also gives me a window to play our True-Name out, which is nice. Use you, Pikachu. I don't think a lot of their sweeper type effects in this matchup are Golgari Charm type things, so they don't actually kill all of my creatures. We didn't get Edicted the last turn, so hopefully we're not getting Edicted this turn. So, Awoken Horror currently larger than Tarmogoyf, which is sweet. See, they need an edict pretty fast here, right? You want some more nuts? Dead gone. That sounds great. We just deaded that one right there. Dead gone actually seems really sweet. I like this card a lot. It's like super flexible. If they take this hit here, they're pretty dead. The things out of the sideboard have been pretty good. I like the pair of them there. Get you? Got him. All right. Can you get your bowl, Jacob? Sweet. All right, we're 2-2. We can rally back to 1-2 start to cash the league. The gone side, Jacob, can you get your bowl from over there? Get your bowl from on the floor. The gone side is for Merit Liege. We're playing one copy of Abrade. Why not Abrade over what? What's your... Can you finish your thought? Why not Abrade versus which other card? So this is a card that can randomly shock things like a 5th Lightning Bolt in the matches, like against Death and Taxes, where like a 5th Lightning Bolt's a good card, or against Delver, and it can also scoop Merit Leech back up. We'll be playing more Kiki Core today. We'll not be playing Kiki Core today. In fact, this next match is going to be our last one for the afternoon. I'm still teaching one class this semester. Last semester of that. And then I have to get ready to take a shower and be ready to go here in a little bit. We'll probably play some more Kiki tomorrow. We also got other things on the donation list too, though. Kiki's probably my top pick for Milwaukee in 2 months, just 2 weeks after Cincy, so I'm practicing for that. I still brew personally. I mean, I still work on deck ideas, like the Key Core deck we've been playing is my configuration. It's just a remedial math class, like 0 level math class if people have ever been to a community college. I would like to ask you to refrain from using the verb cucked in this chat here. It's not a very helpful or constructive verb to use. Prop go. Could be a lot of things. Are birds a good budget replacement for nobles? Yeah, they're a fine budget replacement. I think that's That's acceptable. I think the nobles are optimal, but I think the birds are a fine budget replacement. So I'm just gonna fetch an island here and abrade this, I think. And maybe wait to play around a daze, but like if this is getting dazed, then this isn't getting dazed. I might just force a daze here, actually. I think I'm just gonna force a daze and try and keep their threat going. This force isn't getting that much better, like I'm probably willing to force a threat anyways. And if they force back, we just traded force for force. This Brainstorm probably finds us another removal spell down the line. If I didn't have a second force in my hand, I might have waited here, but like, they forced pitching a Stifle. Okay, that's good to know. They were playing a Stifle could build. I cannot pay one for days, unfortunately. Can you teach Twitch chat to find lethal? No, there's no hope there. There's just none of the hope. Failed to flip their Delver. Why'd you even fight over this dude? He's just a 1/1 opponent. Let's see what the fuss was about here. I think Glittering Wish Ascendancy is still a competitive choice. Yeah, I think it's a fine deck. It's like tier 2, tier 3. It's probably not that much worse than Gift Storm. That's kind of scary. Okay, that means they don't have another land. So if they hadn't played a second Delver here, I think I'd play the True-Name. But because they have a second Delver, I'm pretty incentivized to want to race to removal here. So I want to try and find one of my Bolts, my Pyroblasts, my Punishing Fires, just try to get through to those. So, perfect. Throw these 2 lands back. Throw those 2 lands back. Crack this now so I don't forget. I'm not going to let my opponent untap because I don't want them to have Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm up. We could still lose this race to the single Delver, but we have a lot of cantrips and we have a lot of cards that kill this Delver. So let's hope. They flipped to... When it revealed a Stifle, actually had the Exile Zone up there. So that's revealing Stifle. There's another reason to have waited on or aggressively fetched there. So hopefully we can find a cantrip into a fire or a bolt or a blast or a Snapcaster Mage. Lots of cards to take this little insectile off the table. Ideally, we want to be able to play around this Stifle here and just make it a dead card. The actual answer is that Modern and Legacy are formats where there's enough people playing enough different things that are all just like kind of slightly weird that it's just like, well, you can kind of play and do well with whatever you want. Like a deck doesn't have to be tier 1 to... As a math teacher, how much math ability do you think is innate versus learned? I think there's a big amount of innate versus learned ability with everything. You know, it's just like doing math is a skill, just like playing Magic's a skill, or playing basketball or baseball is a skill. Like certain people are more prone to having mental aptitude than others. It doesn't mean that people who aren't prone to having that mental aptitude can't do math well or can't play Magic well. It does mean, however, that they need to work a little bit harder to be as good at this thing that they're not naturally good at as other people. That's one of the things I always thought was a little bit weird about like our education system is like we expect a bunch of kids to all perform similarly on tests just because they're all the same age, and it's like, well, if you like made a requirement that every student in a particular grade had to like play basketball at the same level, people would say that was obscene. But like we expect them to like read at the same level and do math at the same level. It's like, well, it's not. People are different and learn things at different rates and have different abilities. I have an updated primer and sideboard guide for Kiki Court for Milwaukee. I don't write sideboard guides most of the time, especially for decks like Kiki Court. Oh, they're Temur Delver. Okay. Okay, they're Temur Delver. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Am I just plussing this? I think I'm just scrying with him if he resolves. Because if I go to unsummon here, my opponent can just stifle it and then attack him down with the Insectile Aberration. Echoing Truth. I think I can do better than that. Maybe that buys me enough time that it's worth keeping. Yeah, and Temur Delver is a deck where like you can play whatever fetch lands you want in it, essentially. Yeah, maybe I should have kept that going, Truth, just so I don't like get bolted and burned out of this game. They're probably gonna stifle my Brainstorm this turn, which sucks. Hopefully we hit a spell. I like bottom the Echoing Truth and draw a land. Yeah, I just like feel pretty miserable here. They're probably stifling. Wow, they didn't stifle that. Sure. Thank you, I guess. Thank them for the small favors. I think I don't want... I think I'm just going to plan to shuffle this Ponder instead of... Yeah, just any order shuffle here. Rather than crack the fetch land and go down. Yes, every time. Shuffle the card, draw the card. Omoto. Yeah, that's pretty bad too. Just super punished for having... Alright, we're dead. Maybe I should have unsummoned there. I don't know, they have a stifle in their hands, like we're probably gonna get ranged regardless. Alright, so... I like these. I like this Pyroblast. I don't think I like these Counterspells or this Echoing Truth. I think Jace is actually kind of bad in this matchup. Dead Gone is fine. Flusterstorm's okay. I guess it's good at like fighting over their stifles. Could see that being okay. Maybe trim a Force of Will. I guess Jace is good at like unsummoning their Tarmogoyfs and crap. Like, is he better than Dack? He's probably better than Dack. Yeah, we really just don't have time to grind value with Dack. Alright, let's try this, I think. There are cards that would stifle the Delver flip. Yeah, you could cast Stifle on it. The Delver's a trigger. So when your opponent goes upkeep Delver trigger, you can cast Stifle. We do want to remember to fetch kind of aggressively around Stifles in this matchup. I think our mana base is pretty well suited for this. We did draw a touch too many lands last game. I think maybe it was a mistake to bottom the Echoing Truth when I did. I should have just kept it. I also think it was a mistake on our opponent's part to not stifle our Jace Brainstorm that turn, but yeah, unfortunately we're not punished for not doing that. I do like Forces against Delver because I think our deck has some built-in card advantage to it, and a lot of the games you're going to lose to a deck like Grixis Delver, or Temur and Grixis Delver in a deck like this, are because they get under you and you're going to die with a bunch of cards in your hand. You know, the traditional logic is that, like, you should board out all of your forces in the fair matchups, but this isn't really a fair matchup. My opponent's deck is an aggro resource denial deck, and a card that I can cast for free in general is going to be reasonable against the resource denial deck. I don't think I want all four of them because I don't want to draw a bunch of forces every game, but like the first Force of Will I'm probably going to be okay with. I think this hand's pretty good. It's got some removal in it here. I don't remember if they saw our Grove with the Burnwillows or not last game. You can check the donation queue here. I don't believe it's currently in the queue, but don't quote me on that. This might be aggressive playing into a daze, but I kind of like trying to get this down early. Yeah, that's sad. Our deck's just so resource hungry that, like, most games you have to identify, like, am I going to be able to play around a daze, or am I going to run into it with something at some point? And, like, the longer you wait, the more likely they are to have a daze. You're supposed to play that first in case of Spell Pierce, yeah. I think that's fine. I'm okay with that getting pierced. We just need to find a true name or a thing or a click to trade with us in combat before they, yeah, that's unfortunate. Am I going to Brainstorm here? Yeah, I think so. That's really unfortunate. Yeah. Mongoose is scary. It's giving me flashbacks to old Legacy tournaments where I just got beat down by this card constantly. We break on a land here, we're gonna be dead. Yeah, looking pretty dead. Our mana base is pretty resistant to Wasteland, but obviously can't help it when you draw the Volcanic Island. Opponent had a pretty good start here. Could have maybe waited to play the thing around the days, but I'm definitely blocking a Mongoose, so we just like lose it to a punish bolt on their part anyways. Yeah, it's fine. You know, them's the beats. Some people still play Temur Delver. It's pretty bad against Grixis Delver, but it's okay against a lot of the rest of the field. You could probably argue that Temur Delver has a better combo matchups in a lot of ways, just because of how its resource denial options work out. Any merit to playing Pyroclasm in the 75? I don't think so. I think a lot of the decks that you want that have a bunch of little shitters like this, you just like have Punishing Fires and Abrades and Lightning Bolts, and you just like 1-for-1 them. You don't really need the sweeper type effect. We have Thing in the Ice and Vendilion Clique and True-Name Nemesis to like beat up these Mongoose in combat. We're just like getting resource denied out of this game. Like, we're not losing this game because our opponent has Nimble Mongoose. We're losing this game because like they wastelanded us and we never found a fourth land, right? Like that's why we're losing this game. I mean, like, that's kind of a fourth land, but I think I need to any order shuffle this. I guess I have 1, 2, 3. This is a fourth. I guess I could keep this Bedlam Reveler and then try and Brainstorm into a fourth land next turn to cast it. Is that too little too late? Probably not. If they have anything, we're pretty dead. This is a good example of a spot where like Force of Will would be good too if I had like a Force of Will to like protect what we're trying to set up. So we'll draw Bedlam, and then hopefully one of the 2 cards underneath it is another land. Yeah, just gonna bolt us and then hit us for 9 this turn. No, they're 3/3s. They're very much 3/3s. They don't have another pooper, which is nice. So we're dead to Daze, dead to Force, dead to most things here. All right, so the 2 things I put back on top of my deck are ones I'm going to draw into. So I'm gonna put back Preordain, put back Snapcaster, cast this Bedlam Reveler, like cross my fingers and hope for the best. Oh, P-Fire upstairs. Yeah, you're right. That 10 out of 10 should happen. Then I would have been able to play this Bedlam Reveler around the days. Yeah, good line, Aaron. Good line. All right, well, it's a tough end of the league. That game, I think I could have made that match. I think I could have made decisions slightly differently. Like I could have kept that going truth in game 1, and we could have had that Punishing Fire line to play around that that Daze there on that last turn, and potentially like had a mana up to do more things as well. So I think this loss was within the scope of my control, but the other 2 we just kind of ran pretty bad. This first one we played against a Show and Tell variant that had main deck Besage, which seems pretty unwinnable for the configuration that we're playing. And this one we played against a blue-red Delver deck that had 4 bolts and a Chain Lightning to kill us. I'm done for the day, but Destiny 212, you should go read that card and then come back from your timeout when you figured out why that doesn't work. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll be live again tomorrow afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. Might go to the gym tomorrow morning, but we'll definitely be back tomorrow afternoon about 1:30, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time when we do a 5 or 6 hour stream. So nice long stream on Thursdays as always. So peace, folks, and have a good one.